You are dialing in. Welcome everyone to our Breakfast Club call. Today is Thursday, May the 2nd, 2024. Welcome, May. Welcome everybody. May the 4th be with you. I'm just joking. But May it be an amazing month to each and every single one of you guys. I said yesterday, May stands for miracles, abundance. Yes, yes, yes. Type a 1 in the chat if you declare and decree that is what it will be for you. Yes, see the ones coming in. Make sure you send it to all panelists and attendees. Welcome. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to our Breakfast Club call. If you are joining us once again, welcome home. I remember when I first started entrepreneurship over a decade ago, I was looking forward to these type of morning calls. I was not only looking forward to these type of calls because of the information I was going to receive, but I was looking forward to these type of calls for the inspiration I was going to receive. Garbage in is garbage out, and greatness in is greatness out. And how you start your day sets the tone for your day. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that decided to start your morning off with some positivity, with some inspiration, with some fire this morning. So if you were on our call last week, type of 1 if you were on a call last week. Yes, yes, I see the ones coming in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, we talked about keys to influence and how do you influence people, not only in your business, but in life. Absolutely, absolutely. So today, one of the things that I want to talk about, two of the things actually that I wanted to talk about, one of them is how to take immediate action during the time of adversity. And one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like a lot of times in business, we just say, things happen and you got to just keep moving forward. But I do believe that in life and in business, it is so important to just have strategies in place, because these strategies become a part of your lifestyle. And at first, when you're doing something that you don't necessarily care to do, it's a discipline, right? But then it becomes a desire, like brushing your teeth, like having great hygiene, right? Like going to the gym. I remember at first going to the gym was a discipline. I didn't really care too much to do it. But then what happened was the more that I did it, it became a desire. And I believe that there's certain things that we need to have in our life that are as anchors to not only help us in our business, but just help us in life. And the truth of the matter is that things are always going to happen, no matter what it is. Like, things are just going to happen that we cannot control. We can't control what we do. We can't control what others people do. We can control what we do. We can control how we think. We can control how we feel. We can control how we speak, what we think, what we do, how we feel. Those are the only things that we can control. So it's important that you understand that control the controllables. And one of the things that I love to talk about is because it's just real life, and taking immediate action during the times of adversity, it can be crucial for managing and overcoming challenges effectively. Absolutely. But at the same time, this becomes a behavioral pattern. This becomes a part of your character. And I'm not saying to, expect bad things to happen or expect adversity to happen. No, absolutely not. But the truth of the matter is that you need to have certain things in place, because things are going to happen that you cannot control. And here's the number one thing, if you're taking notes, because note takers are history makers. Now, if you are wanting to take action in the midst of adversity, number one, assess the situation. Quickly evaluate the nature and the severity of the adversity that it is that you're facing. Understand what exactly is happening and the potential impact it may have on you or your surroundings. It is so important that you quickly assess a situation calmly, right? And that's going to be number 2. However, here's the reality of why that is of the matter. It can be in business and it can be in life, right? So I'm going to give you two scenarios. One scenario, you're at a travel party and the electricity goes out. You're at a travel party and the electricity goes out, and travel party, secret social, for however you want to call it. You're showing the deal and your electricity goes out. Type a 1 in the chat if you would panic right now. You would panic. What are you doing? Like, I want to see what you're going to do. The electricity goes out. You're in the middle of a presentation. Like, what you doing? What are you doing? Tell me about it. Yes, yes. I see the answers. Don't be shy. Don't be sending them only to me. Let everybody see what you're saying. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So somebody said, assess the situation, stay calm, look for solutions. Bingo. So I'm at a travel party. This happened to me in real life. I had already set up the computer. Everybody's sitting in the living room. The electricity goes out. It's a blackout, literally. And I kept going. I kept going. Here's the reality. I knew the presentation so good, each and every slide, that it didn't matter where they lost visual because they were not going to lose audible too. So I understood that in that moment, I had to assess the situation and quickly evaluate the nature and the severity of the adversity. I'm like, is it the end of the world? No. Is it annoying? Yes. But how can we go ahead and say, hey, this is what exactly happened? Because here is the impact that I understood that this can have on my immediate surroundings and the team. Number one, the people there, it was a room full of people. It was like 10 people in the living room. People in the living room could have easily gotten upset, got up and left. Or they could have been like, man, this person's unprofessional. They're unprepared, even in this time. Nobody expected me to keep going, by the way, right? Nobody expected me to keep going because the normal thing would have been to panic, but I'm not normal. So we know this. So again, leaders bring certainty to an environment where there isn't any. Leadership is never based on position, but it is based on posture. It is based on initiative. So the posture of my heart, the posture of my certainty, the posture of my leadership, the posture of what I was talking about was saying, hey, no, we're going to keep going. And I did a whole presentation. By the time I was done, FPL decided to turn the lights back on, thank God, right? But by this time, they already had everything. So some people were like, hey, yeah, can I get a visual of this? But when the lights came back on, I was like, yeah, so these are the examples that I was talking to you guys about. This was how you get paid and who's ready to get started first. That's how I closed. And it made a joke about it. Here's another thing that I understood what was going to happen. People model. People don't care. Like if whether or not you have children, people don't care what you tell them until you do what it is that you tell them. People want to be led. People want to be led by strength, character, and confidence, never weakness. So if you're ever finding yourself in the midst of adversity and you're like, well, how am I going to respond to this? Well, number one, you have to assess the situation. And here's the reality of what that did. I assessed that situation and I was immediately thinking of a solution and the impact that it was going to have, not only on my team, but also the guests. And the team, guess what the team did? The team said, well, we got to learn this presentation because God forbid the lights went out. We want to be as prepared as you. Again, it's modeling, right? But also they're like, I want to learn the presentation so good so that in the case that that does happen, I don't got to sweat. You stay ready so you don't ever got to get ready. Tap a 1 in the chat if that's ever happened. Has there ever been a technical difficulty when you are presenting? Yes, look at the ones coming in. Absolutely. Make sure you're sending them to everyone, right? Absolutely. Because it happens, but it's taking immediate action. It's not focusing on the things that you cannot control. It's not focusing on the things that you cannot change, but understanding that it's a ripple effect of your leadership. It's a ripple effect of how you handle adversity, of how you take immediate action during those times. So assessing the situation is key. Number 2, staying calm and composed. And I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Let me give you an example of some adversity, right? In the middle, this week, okay? One of my childhood best friends, cancer has overtaken her body overnight. This is one of my childhood's best friend's mom, right? I'm actually headed to Miami right after this call today. So immediately, my heart just sank. This hits home. If you know, you know, right? I was like, but I immediately was like, okay, I have to get stuff done. Yesterday was the first. I could not say I'm going to not focus on what I have to do. I have a mental health matters conference coming up. I had client calls and meetings and groups that I lead and people that I lead and organizations that I lead. So I had to take my own advice and understand that I could not change what I could not change. I could assess the situation and I had to quickly move and say, okay, what exactly is happening and what potential impact can it have on me and on my surroundings? Well, right now, all I could do is pray really quick. I have to take care of my priorities because I have to. Like, I rebuke the spirit of depression over my life, over my business, over my day, because you got to speak what it is that you seek. And I'm sharing with you real life situations because it's not only in business that you're going to get adversity. It's going to come in life, and then it's going to try to take you off your track. But my hope is that when that moment happens, you can remember this conversation. You can remember that you have everything inside of you to not only tell this mountain to move, but to move it in every aspect of the word, because you are powerful within your own right. And you have the power to assess any situation and still turn it in your favor. So I had to do that. I did my meetings how I did it. Now, did I struggle a little bit? Yes, but I made sure I was in prayer, made sure I did the things that I was supposed to do. I had to teach Bible study last night. I had a client that had an event that I had to go to. I had so many different commitments, but I compartmentalized my day enough so that I can say, this I need to do, this is a must do. And I still had to do presentations, right? I had a 9 p.m. Spanish press. Then I had a 9:30 English. Again, just doing the things that are necessary because you understand where you're at. But more than anything, here's the reason why. You have to have a compelling vision for your life, a compelling vision for your future, a compelling vision for your business, because that vision, it's what's going to pull you on the days that motivation cannot push you. Yeah, I really think every morning I want to, every morning that I have to do the Breakfast Club call, there's some mornings that are tough. Today was one of those tough mornings because I have been just emotionally with my friend, and I know that this is a tough situation for her and her brothers, but I also understood that this is not something that I have to do. This is something that I get to do. Immediately I shift to an attitude of gratitude because thank God I'm able to be used as a vessel to impact people's lives, to further his kingdom. Thank God I'm able to be used as a vessel to be able to bring you some insight this morning in real life, practical things that you can apply to not only your business, but your life. So number 2, to take immediate action during the time of adversity, staying calm and composed. Staying calm and composed. It is essential to maintain a clear and focused mindset. Trying to stay calm and composed, as panic can cloud our judgment and hinder effective decision making. Type a 1 in the chat if you've ever panicked when a situation has come. Type a 1 in the chat. Let me see where my honest people are this morning. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And did something great happen after? No, no, it never does. It never does. The reality is that panic brings about havoc, right? That when you panic is like you're telling your brain, you're telling your body, freak out right now. I lost control. So your central nervous system is now all over the place because you're telling it that you're not okay. So the reality is that the more calm you stay, the more clear and focused your mindset is. We always say your mindset is where your mind sits. Try to stay calm and composed so that you can have great decision making. I'm going to tell you when the best thing you can ever do in any situation is staying calm and composed. Let me give you guys another example, right? Again, technical difficulties, things that happen that you kind of really wouldn't want them to really happen. So we have the big shot press happening right before Angie Cuff is about to present. Okay, right before she's about to present, we have the big shot. I called the restaurant. We always get the back room, right? I made sure everything was good. I had reserved it 2 weeks ahead of time. They said, no deposit, you're good, Miss Pacheco, blah, 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 cool. Well, the Friday comes of the big shot event, and, I get there 45 minutes before it starts because I'm early. So I get there, and they're like, no, we don't have the back room for you available. We have this table in the middle. And immediately I just stayed calm and I just lowered my voice so that they could force them to hear me. And I said, there has to be a mistake because I made the reservation. And I called and I confirmed the reservation. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to call the manager. I said, yes, you do that. At the same time, y'all know me, right? So I'm like, okay, y'all go ahead and call the manager. I'm gonna call the owner. So I'm like, hi, Ivan. I'm actually here at your location. At your location, and I had a reservation, but there seems to be a bit of a mix up. Yes, Lisa, staying calm definitely pays off. Okay. Listen, there was no way they was gonna play with me. But I understood that again, I had to stay calm because my mother used to always tell me, you get more bees with honey, right? She's like, save your fire for when you need to have a fire. You don't always need to be there. Okay. She's like, but just be cool. And as a little girl, I never understood this because I was always on 1,000, but I also understood that, see, your mindset is where your mind sits. And there is such a thing as your emotional triad, right? Your body, your focus, your language. Your body in the very way that you move your body determines the quality of your emotion, determines the quality of your emotions. Your focus, whatever you're focusing on is what will expand, right? Whatever meaning, whatever self-talk, whatever language you're utilizing in the situation, it is either going to defeat you or it is going to get you closer to where it is that you want to be and where it is that you want to go. However, I understood. I was like, okay, I need to stay calm. And immediately me staying calm, they went and found the manager. But as the manager walked up to me, he's like, oh, I didn't know you knew Vine. I was like, yeah, I did. Like, I'm just going to be cool because I know the owner. But here's really, and here's where I want to even take this a step further. And this is for my faithful people on the call. And if this is not you, that's okay too. You know why I stood calm? Because I know my creator. So in the middle of adversity, I encourage you to go deeper with the source, to go deeper with the higher power. The reason I stay calm now more than ever in my life is because I know the author, and what he already said was that victory has been authorized. It is sitting with him. So I understand in any and every situation is either I'm going to trust him all the time or I'm going to trust him none of the time. And I just choose to say, I'm going to trust him all of the time. So that's peace that transcends all understanding. It's what lives within me because of whose child I am. So staying calm and composed these days is something that it is absolutely okay if you don't feel in that moment that you're like, man, I'm going to lose my mind, for lack of better words, right? I'm going to lose my today. It's okay. Even if you do, here's what I will tell you. Give yourself grace, because I've also been on the opposite end of the spectrum. Okay. Which means that I have in that same situation, not probably the same one, but there have been situations where I didn't stay calm and I didn't stay composed because my emotional maturity wasn't where it needed to be. And I will tell you that nothing good came from that. I will tell you that all it did was create more havoc, because panic creates havoc, right? It created more uncertainty, and it got me further away from the goal than getting me closer to where it was that I wanted to go. So I understand that it's essential to maintain a clear and focused mindset in the time of adversity when you want to take immediate and deliberate action. Because yes, action cures everything, but it needs to be strategic and you need to have a plan. And that brings us to number 3. How to take immediate action during times of adversity: identifying your priorities, determining what are the most critical tasks or objectives that need immediate action, and then prioritize these based on their urgency and importance in addressing the adversity. But Pam, what do you mean by that? Let's bring it back to I'm going to give you guys a few examples. Let's bring it back to the travel party where the lights went off and I'm in the middle of a presentation. Okay. So my priority there was saying, identifying what was my most critical task and objective. In that very moment, the most critical objective was for people to get the information, people to grasp the information that I was going to deliver. In that moment, the objective was, the hope and plan and wish was that eventually the lights came back on. Okay. But in that moment, I knew that I still needed to keep the attention of the audience. That was a priority, because whoever listens the most leads the conversation. So let me backtrack a little bit. As we got to the travel party, I'm never the presenter that gets to the travel party right on time. I do my best to get there at least 10 to 15 minutes, if not more time than that. Why? Because I like to feel the room. I like to meet people. I like to talk about their life. I want to know about their family. I want to know about their businesses. I want to know about their careers. I want to know about their goals, because I know I'm on assignment. And my assignment is not to get them signed up. No, 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 no. My assignment is to serve. How can I serve you in your lifestyle, in your goals, in how can I help you overcome your obstacles right now with the solutions that I am here to provide? Because I got it very clear. I am on assignment. I am a solution provider. That is what we do. We're providing solutions to people. So one of my priorities, based on the conversation that I had with a young woman that was saying she wanted to travel more with her kids, was letting her know that one of my objectives was to show her how she can do that. And I used the young lady as an example. I said, man, imagine getting access to being able to travel to Thailand for $500 for a week instead of $5,000. Which one makes more sense? See, when you know what you're talking about and you're able to identify your priorities, you're going to know what immediate attention everything needs. So in my mind, I already knew what it was. I already was creating a visual, right? Because this is what analogies are good. Would you rather pay 5,000 or 500? What do you think everybody said? 500. 500. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So it's taking adversity in those moments and making it your own, but it's identifying those priorities that need immediate attention. I will tell you another one, right? We were just doing a teacher appreciation. It was teacher appreciation week at one of our teammates, our leaders, Damaris' school. Absolutely amazing. We get there, identifying the priorities, right? So here was the adversity. We had no water and to you, it might not be a big thing, but if you need some salt and oil scrub demos, we need a little bit of water, right? We needed a little bit of water also for the greens. So I had water bottles, but the duffel bag that I had the water bottles in, I left them. Blonde moment. I was doing too much, okay? So I stayed calm. I identified the priority. I said, okay, how can I get a bottle of water? So I asked the barrier. She's like, no, you got to go here. Okay, cool. My brother was with me. I was like, hey, can you go do this, do that? Teamwork. So immediately that you identify the priority, you then were like, okay, how can we get to these objectives fast? And how can we divvy it up? Because had I panicked and been like, oh my goodness, It's ruined. No, we're not ruining nothing. Okay. Again, we're assessing the situation, we're staying calm and composed, and we're identifying the priorities. And the priorities was, again, to add value, to bring solutions. We're raffling off a trip to Panama for 5 days and 4 nights for these teachers. Do you really think I had time to lose my mind? No, 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 no. We are professionals. So again, identifying the priorities. But here's another thing that brings me to the next point: developing a plan of action. It's number 4. So immediately I started in my mind, okay, let me go back to the basics, because I already had a plan of action to come in there, right? The plan of action was to add value, whether I'm giving people to sample greens, whether they're sampling the salt and oil scrub, whether they're asking questions about the raffle for their vacation that we are sending them on. So I had a plan of action. And once you identify the priorities, you have to create a plan that's outlining specific steps you need to take to address the situation. And then you break down the plan into smaller, more manageable tasks to make it more achievable. And you know, those smaller, manageable tasks we call micro goals, things that you can immediately do to fix, right? Things that you can immediately do to get closer to where it is that you want to do. So my plan of action, once I identify those priorities, we're like, okay, cool, divide and conquer. Let me go talk to these people. You go talk to them people. I'm going to go back to these people, and we're circling around, and we delegated, and we did exactly what needed to be done. And this same exact thing is I apply it in my life, because just because you see the smiles on social media, just because you see the highlights, just because you see the glory, doesn't mean that there's not different things in the story that are adversity. But it's not what happens, is how you respond to it, how you respond to challenges. And once you identify those priorities, your action steps, developing a plan of action, is the simplest thing. It's knowing that, okay, the only way through is through. But now let me break this down into smaller things, these micro goals that I can make sure that are going to help me, right? If you guys are getting value from this, type of V in the chat for me. This is making sense. Awesome, awesome. I love that. I love that. Read all of your comments. Make sure you're sending it to all panelists and attendees. Amazing. So assessing the situation, staying calm and composed, identifying priorities, develop a plan of action. And here's the reality, right? When that also happened, we're going to go back to the travel party where the lights went off. In my mind, I already had a plan of action. You got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready. In my mind, I already knew when, if or not the lights come back on, I am going to say, hey, who has questions on the travel? Who has questions on the business? I immediately had in my mind what were my priorities and was creating a plan outlining the steps that I needed to take to address the situation, because there was no way I was going to let a room walk out because the light decided to walk out. I carry the light. I am the torch. We will be okay. But it's having that mindset when these situations arise, that of a leader. It's knowing that my posture of my mindset, my posture of my heart space, my posture of the actions that I'm willing to take, it's what is always going to differentiate you from anybody else and in anything else. So how you show up matters. Number 5, take decisive action. Once you've identified priorities, create a plan outlining specific steps you need to take to address the situation, breaking them down, the plan, into smaller, more manageable tasks to make it more achievable. But once you have a plan of action, you're going to take decisive action. What does that mean? Act swiftly and decisively on your plan. Do not hesitate to implement necessary measures or make the tough decisions, but ensure they are well considered based on the information available. Again, decide, it means to kill off all other options. 2 weeks ago, we spoke about how the decisions, the determiners to make decisions, right? Look for it on our Chosen Global YouTube page. But I'm going to tell you, When you act swiftly and decisively on your plan, greatness takes place, because it is in the moment that at adversity that you decide to take action of what it will look like. But you have to have a vision so that you can take decisive action swiftly and decisively. I'm going to tell you guys also, right? We're going to go back. So yesterday, one of my clients is a singer, okay? Helping her with branding and coaching and strategy and PR. Well, in the middle of a video shoot, the light is crazy. And the photographers on here, videographers will understand. They're like, well, what does this have to do with anything? Well, the light was coming in so bad that there was no way. So I'm like, okay, well, let's talk to the owner. Okay, where do you have a tablecloth? Do you have anything that I can, oh, of course, no worries. We'll go, blah, blah, cool. I already had a vision with what the solution was. I already had a mindset of the solution. And anywhere I go, whether it's in network marketing, whether it's in my coaching, whether it's in speaking, whether it's in church, everywhere I go, you have to have a solution-oriented mindset. You have to know you are bigger than the issue. You are bigger than the adversity. You are bigger than the problem. And why you're bigger is because of the power you possess inside of you. It's inside of you. But exactly, Suhani, we found something really quick to dim the light, right? It was like a throwover thing, went over the door. People kept trying to come in the door. I said, cool, how can we lock this door? Got your permission? Cool, lock the door, right? Because quickly, my mind is on solutions. We don't got time to focus on the negative. It's quickly identifying the solutions so we can take decisive action. Immediately, how can we take action? Because immediately, that's what it's about, so that you can get to the solutions. This is why they say how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And I'm going to go right after that. Decisive actions again in the time of adversity. Again, I don't know what it is with technical difficulties, but we have a lesson. We have like 12 weeks where we teach, it's called EPIC, the Bible study program for the kids. Well, the AV person was not there, and somebody else was covering for her that had no idea how to work this stuff. So here I come. Oh, well, we got the lesson plan. So while y'all get that up, we're going to go to the lesson plan, because you got kids, and I'm talking about kids from like 3 years old to 8 years old that I'm teaching Bible study to. And you know, their attention span, y'all think adults is bad. Try a child. Okay. And I have to, because I got to still keep face, right? But in that moment, I'm like, today is a good day. Mind you, I'm going through all of these things personally too, right? But it's about you having a mindset of, how can I come up on top? Because God already said it is done. So in the time of adversity, taking immediate action is crucial in every aspect of our life. And here's another thing. When you're taking decisive action, and sometimes it may not necessarily give you the outcome right away, here's what you can do. Number 6, seek support if needed. Don't hesitate to reach out for help or support from others if the situation warrants it. So immediately I said, hey, do me a favor, text. I told one of the other girls while I'm doing this activity with the kids, text the leader, ask her, what other options do we have? Who else can we get? What other options do we have to find a solution? I'm seeking support because I'm also the leader that delegates. I understand that everybody has gifts, everybody has strengths, we all have weaknesses. And certain things, they're just not my forte. They're not my area of strength. So why will I major in minor things? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sign up for that class, because I know that somebody, they didn't even volunteer to sign up for that class. They were already ordained in that area, and they're really, really better than me. So I understand how to be humble enough to say, hey, I don't need to be the one that gets this done. I can have certain people that take care of this. So one of the things that allows us to take immediate action in the midst of adversity is being able to reach out for help when you need it. And that can be from your upline. That can be from your leadership. That can be from friends. That can be from colleagues, that can be from professional resources, depending on the nature of the adversity and depending on what it is that you're seeking. And I'll bring it back to the travel party incident where the lights went off, right? In the middle, I'm asking the teammate, hey, can you see if the circuit breaker in the laundry room or wherever they keep it, can you try to mess with that to see if we could get that done? Again, it was something short, right? But I'm still seeking support. Hey, do me a favor, to the other girl that was there, do me a favor, make sure everybody has like water, because in case the AC is not going on, y'all know it's like you don't got no AC and you thirsty. It's like anybody immediately just get parched when they get hot. Yes, right? It's our body. This is just how we're made of, okay? So I immediately was like, oh, make sure everybody got water, because again, I'm solution oriented. I already said I'm going to assess the situation. I'm going to stay calm and composed. I'm going to identify the priorities. I already had developed the plan of action. I was already taking the decisive action, but seeking the support if needed is so crucial. And that is a clear step that so many people miss. So many people miss that. And I will tell you, in your business, it's like if you are doing 10 presentations, if you are doing 10 exposures, if you are doing 10 demos, if you are doing 10 conversations, if you sent out 10 messages, if you did anything with the number 10, okay, and you did not get the desired outcome, if you did not get the desired solution, reach up, seek support. Seek support. Just seek it. Go to your upline. Go to your teammate. Go to your leader. Go to me. I don't care if you're not on my team. Y'all know I'll help whoever I can help. Like, seek the support that you need, because that is plenty hands make light work. Many hands make light work. And I will tell you, the harvest is plentiful. It's just the laborers that are few. So it's about us working together to get to where it is that we want to go. So seek the support when it is needed. Do not hesitate to reach up to your teammates. And there's things, and I got to give shout out to Lisa and Denise. Lisa and Denise Robinson. By the way, guys, we are going to Italy August 5th through the 11th. If you are brand new, I see a few brand new people on here and you have not solidified getting on that trip, call me, message Lisa or Denise. I absolutely got to give them their flowers. They have done the most work to put this trip together. They've done email campaigns and have done Denise, if you could drop your email address, please, in the chat. Lisa, if you could drop your email address in the chat for people to contact you. You talk about from the graphics to the marketing to the promotion to the emails back and forth. It has been phenomenal. But I will tell you, it has been work. Right, Lisa? Yes, right? It has been work. But guess what Lisa and Denise did? They said, let me reach up and seek support. And guess what we did? Of course, we're going to help you. Of course, we're going to help you with your email campaign. Of course, we're going to mastermind and brainstorm on ideas. And originally, we needed 40, okay? Now we're at 70-something, and we need 80 people. Y'all know we're going to get that, right? It's like light work at this point. It's already done. But you talking about, this is the first, we have been promoting Italy Escapes, right? And all of the Italy Escapes are over $1,500 because they're like super long. And look at the attention to detail, but more than anything, look at the leadership at its finest of being resourceful, of also saying, let me think outside of the box. Let me be solution oriented. And they said, well, can we make another trip similar and maybe take away some of these things? And how can we do this? And they're asking questions. And guess what? They're getting answers, because finding is for the seekers. Finding is for the seekers. So you want to be that person that is solution oriented. You want to be that person that has a bigger vision, but you also want to be that person that says, hey, you know what? In the middle of it all, I'm going to seek support as I need it. And because they sought support, they seek the support that they needed. I'm not saying, oh, because of me. No. It's because of them, because of their wisdom, because of their humility, because of their leadership, because they already assess the situation. Type a A in the chat, Lisa, if you went through a little bit of adversity and you still stayed calm and composed, identified the priorities, developed a plan of action, took decisive action, and seek the support if needed. And here's another thing that you did, like we all do. Number 7, adapt and adjust. Be prepared to adapt our approach as the situation evolves, as the adversity unfolds, as the plot thickens. Okay? Stay flexible and open-minded, willing to make changes to your plan if new information arises, or, this is key, or if the initial strategies prove ineffective. Again, Lisa, I hate to do this to you, but we gonna use this as an example. Let me tell y'all, we sold out the trip to Italy. We sold it out. It's a good problem to have. But guess what happened then? We still got more people that paid a deposit. So now we had to go back, and again, they seek support. And guess what? I'm going to take it a step further. There was stuff out of my control that I needed to seek support. So guess what I did? Hey, Muzaffar. Shout out to Muzaffar. He is the best. Absolutely love him. Right? We have the best leadership, period. I was like, hey, Muzaffar, I need your help on this. Thank you. Him and Hannah, and we have such a great team. But I seek the support. But here's what I did. I had to adapt. I had to adjust. I had to adjust how things were. And guess what? Because we stayed calm, because we identified the priorities, because we had a plan of action, because we took decisive action, because we seeked out the support that we needed after carefully assessing the situation, now we're staying at an even better hotel. It is phenomenal. Like the best. One of the best in Southern Italy. Incredible. But it was because we were willing to adapt and adjust as we needed to, as the situation evolves. See, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want to share real life examples in not only business, but in life, where things are going to happen and you're going to have to adapt and adjust. You're going to have to take action swiftly, but you're going to have to adapt and adjust along the way, because the reality is that whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And if you focus on the problem, you're going to get more problems. You focus on the solution, you're going to get closer to the solution. Now, here's number 8 of what we all did together. Maintain resilience. See, adversity often requires resilience and perseverance. Stay determined and resilient in the face of challenges, and maintain a positive outlook that you can overcome the adversity you're facing. I'm going to tell y'all, man, oh man, that is a big one. Maintaining resilience. I was emotionally winded yesterday, and I was like, I still got to get stuff done. It is May 1st. This responsibilities is not going to take care of itself. I had calls with corporate sponsors for my Mental Health Matters conference that is taking place. By the way, if you're in Tampa, or you could drive here, or you could fly here, you want to be here May 18th. And if you can't, you could join us online. And I'll send you guys all the discount code for being on our Breakfast Club call. But it was so crazy because I was thinking, if I hadn't mustered up the courage to be who I am, right? But to be resilient, I would have missed out on corporate sponsors. And thank God we got a few corporate sponsors from the meetings that we got yesterday. But it's such a blessing, and I don't take it for granted. But I also know that it was because I was maintaining the resilience. It was because I was still showing up when all I wanted to do was shut down. It was still because I said, I'm going to keep my workout at 6 in the morning. I'm going to keep all my meetings. I'm not going to reschedule. I'm not going to put off, because life is a fight for territory. And when you stop fighting for what it is that you want, what you don't want will take over. So no matter when you're feeling in those moments of adversity, when you're feeling the pressure, when you're feeling those emotions, when you're feeling the daunting of the trauma, when you are feeling all of these feelings that are not the best, understand that there is something on the other side of it. Feel your feelings, but just do not stay there. That resilience and that perseverance, it always pays off. Victory belongs to those that are the most persevering, period. So in anything that you do, make sure that you are the one that is showing up and showing out more than the adversity, more than the problem. Maintaining that resilience is key. Maintaining that resilience is key. Learning and growing, number 9. Take the opportunity to learn from the adversity you're experienced or you are experiencing. Reflect on what went well and what can be improved upon for future situations. Use the experience to grow stronger and more prepared for future challenges. So I'm going to tell you guys a few things, right? From a few of the different adversity issues that we've been talking about. First, I'm going to talk about again of the travel party where the lights went on. So here's what that did to me, for me also. It said, hey, maybe you do need to have a power bank in your car, a small one, battery case. Also, maybe you do need to have a projector just in case the TV goes out. And even though they have a TV, you just keep your projector on hand. And you can also just keep your screen on hand. Stay ready so you don't got to get ready. In the event that that ever happens again, and it's because of something you can control, there's light on outside, we going outside. Oh, you could get a wire, you could get an extension cord. Okay, cool. We gonna get it popping one way or the other, right? So it's having that mindset of growth. It's saying, how can I learn from this and how can I grow from this situation? Right? It's also saying, listen, even with some of the stuff that was going on with the trip, it's also now we are getting better, right? Because people always want to be like, man, I want to be at the beginning. Like, anybody ever wish like they was at the beginning of Amazon, Uber, Google, right? Imagine everybody want to be at the beginning, but nobody wants to go through the adversity in the beginning. And it's those people that are willing to go through the adversity in the beginning. So is everything and anything perfect with our membership? No, but guess what? It's getting better. And because we are able to have these conversations with our amazing leadership, and we said, hey, maybe there needs to be somebody that is a liaison between this and this, so that we can know ahead of time what would happen in the event that this could take place. But because we were able to stay calm, because we were able to assess the situation and identify the priorities and have a plan of action and take decisive action and seek the support and adapt and adjust and maintain resilience, we were able to learn and grow from the situation. It was saying something right now to saying, okay, well, I'm able to do this because I know that works, right? I'm able to now have this outlook because I had this adversity and this is how I responded to it. So it's learning and growing from different situations of having that mindset. See, as adults, have you ever noticed there's some adults that are really overgrown children? I know I can't be the only one. It's because they just didn't grow. They weren't ready to do certain things, right? So it's always looking at, how can I get better? How can I get stronger? How can this work in my favor? It's making it an opportunity to learn and to grow. Always be in that constant and never-ending improvement mindset. Be in that constant and never-ending improvement. Be in that constant and never-ending improvement. I hate when people be like, oh, you can't show an old dog new tricks. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know how many people have become multi-billionaires after 40 years old, after 50 years old, because they finally woke up, because they finally had an epiphany, because they finally said, I'm going to stop making excuses. I'm going to prioritize my life. I am going to take action on my dreams. I am going to stop feeling sorry for myself because I am a victor, not a victim. It's the mindset. It's the posture of your heart space. It's what are you willing to do when these things arise? Because you do deserve the life that it is that you want. You do deserve to live your soft life. You do deserve the abundance that is our birthright. You do deserve the mountains to move. You do deserve the miracles to happen. But it only is going to happen if you declare it so, if you work for that to be so. And it comes to number 10, taking care of yourself. Finally, remember to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually during the times of adversity. See, ensuring that you're getting enough rest, staying nourished, and practicing self-care to maintain your well-being as you navigate through challenges. I'm going to tell you the reason why I am who I am, because of whose I am, number one, but because I do number 10 like it is number one. Like, I do not play, I do not deviate from my morning routine. My morning routine includes my mindfulness. It includes my prayer. I sit in time with God, with my creator. You don't got to do what I do. I'm just telling you what it is that I do that works for me. Okay. I make sure I meditate. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. I write out the things that I'm grateful. I declare the things that I'm grateful. I mother myself. I mother myself because I've understood one of the greatest things that I miss about my mom is how she was a mom to me, is how much she would tell me she's proud of me, of how she would take care of me, of how she would love on me. So if there's anything that I've learned to do in the last 3 years is to take care of myself. Did I want to get up at 6 in the morning to go to the gym yesterday? No. Absolutely not. Do I want to go on the treadmill before I get on the road in this few? No, but I need to. Why? Because I understand that the more I conquer myself, I can take care of anything and everything else. But you have to take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself is doing the things sometimes that you know you must do, that you need to do for you to be good. You cannot give from an empty cup. And I get it. I'm the person that wants to show up for everyone and everything at all the time. But I've been more selfish in this season because I understand that I have to take care of myself. I cannot take care of anything else. Imagine the only reason I'm able to talk on a panel and even put together a mental health matters conference is because I've prioritized mental health mattering in my life in every aspect. So why would I not advocate for something that I live by? So if you're asking yourself, how can I take action? How can I take immediate action in the point of adversity? Always know, number one, assess the situation, staying calm and composed, identify the priorities, develop a plan of action, take decisive action, seek support if needed, adapt and adjust, maintain the resilience, learn and grow. Take care of yourself. This has been our Breakfast Club call for May the 2nd, 2024. Breakfast has been served. As always, it is my pleasure, honor, and privilege to serve you guys. Happy Thursday. Blessings on blessings. Have a great day. Appreciate y'all.